people have classified it as traditional marriage. Who officiates it?
It's basically leaders within the community.
Okay.
Leaders within the community, leaders from both sides of the family. Because of changing times, you have church leaders being involved, coming in to officiate this marriage. We do not know what is meant by a marriage certificate, because as far as we're concerned, the certificate is in the agreement between the two and the witnesses who are members of the community. So the members of the community are there to witness this marriage taking place. It's a celebration, okay? Yes, so what is most important is that we have the community present. The leaders in the community are present.
There's always been this assumption that if a couple is unable to have a child, they always assume it's the woman that is unable to bear fruit. So could this be why most men sought for a second wife? They would prefer being in a polygamous marriage? And was this something that was practiced like in the land?
Yes, no, it's not just because a woman can't have a child that they will seek, they'll seek another wife. No. There's something interesting about the male species, which is quite, biological, it's scientific, okay? It's very difficult for a man to have only one woman, okay? The reality of our existence is procreation, okay? We're meant to regenerate. We are meant to regenerate, okay, at all times, because the moment we stop regenerating, the moment we stop giving birth to children, that's the end of the human species.
Yeah.
That's the end. And I do not know if I should say that's why God made sex to be so enjoyable, okay? Because without sex, there is no regeneration, okay? We won't have children. So sex has been made to be very enjoyable, because there are people who go to sex for enjoyment, but ultimately the results will be different. You end up with children. And that's why people use the word unwanted. I would rather we start to the word unplanned as opposed to unwanted. Okay, unwanted, that it sounds very negative. Unplanned sounds neutral. Okay, so we just didn't plan, but we still want the child. We love the child. Okay, so there is this desire in man to always plant the seed. Okay, plant the seed, and a woman can be impregnated only once in 9 months. Well, a man can impregnate maybe 20 in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do I mean? What I mean is that they are always there, regenerating. Okay, always doing it, creating. They are doing it continuously. Okay, and that's why this now is deeply rooted in them, and that's what our culture has taken care of. Okay, it's deeply rooted in them. You cannot do it only once. That's why another woman will come in.
I want to bring you back to one of our comments, and it said some things are based on biological makeup. A woman can only give birth once in 9 months. Now, what will happen when both gentlemen want to have a child simultaneously? Besides, polygamy is already legal in Zambia. So the question we're referring to is for women who would want to do polyandry, who are open to polyandry, 2 husbands like Mercy. What happens if, they want to have a child? I'm not listening to you saying that, men are out there to spread the seed.
Unfortunately, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Okay, men are there to, to impregnate women. And if you look at, just talk about the population, I cannot give any actual figures because I would be lying.
Yes.
But we have more females than males.
Yeah.
Okay, we do not need as many men as possible. But we need a lot of females for us to fill the earth.
You sound like you're there for idea of polygamy.
I sound like I'm for the idea of reality. Okay, we need as many women, because you can produce only 1 child in 9 months. So if we want to have 20 children in this studio today, then of course we know, say in 9 months we need to have 20 children, then we know that the 2 of you will not be enough. We need to bring in more women. Okay, but and yet 1 man will still be enough.
Can be enough to complete the
You see the
full
way
job.
it is. Yeah, that's the way it is. 1 man will still be enough. And yet, so for us, to increase our population, we do not need men.
Now, I want to get back even just to these traditional marriages. And thank you for blowing that lid off it as well. But, you know, we've heard a lot of strange phrases like, oh, cousin indio, or, you know, the in-law, you know, are those, you know, based on what you're saying, is that where these terms are coming from? From what our elders used to do?
Yes, definitely. That's where it is coming from. We are all, we are basically recreating what we have been going through. We are doing what we have been doing. We pretend a lot, especially, when you come to the city, you encounter this, Western education. We pretend that we are not who we are. We pretend that we do not believe in what we believe in. And yet you find that it still happens that we do these things. You will talk to, some very educated, men and women. They will still show you that they still believe in these things, regardless of the, the amount of education they've accumulated. Talk to women, they'll tell you, say, no. Actually, they will say, "Mamuna ni wako ngatari mnyumba." They will say that, and yet we're talking about people who are highly educated, people who expect to completely reject these things, okay?